Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Working In versus Working Out. And I am going to be adding TRACY to this call so that she can come on. She is going to help us type A perfectionist ladies learn about losing our effing minds. So I just invited TRACY. We'll give her a few seconds to jump on here. Hi, Cherie. Long time no see. We just got off my group coaching call in our one-to-one coaching program. And so if you don't know, Coach Samantha here. I coach professional women to lose body fat, build muscle sustainably without losing their minds or their yes. And my girl TRACY is here.
I'm here.
What's up? I just got my group coaching call and we were talking about, I have updated our welcome packet to include some of the cool information that you had from our period time. So put that in. We're really appreciating like the archetypes of the maiden, stuff like that. So
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. It was so fun.
yes.
I'm
Well,
glad that I'm having a positive impact with your clients as well.
yes, me too. Me too. And they appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's dope. But I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself, explain a little bit about why you're here and who you help and who you.
Yeah, so I mean, if people didn't join in last week's live, so again, my name is Trace, or a couple weeks ago, my name is TRACY. I'm based out of California. I'm a hybrid coach. I am a Czech integrated health coach. So that means that I'm helping my clients find alignment and work towards whatever their dreams and goals are. So not everybody wants to be a bodybuilder. Not everybody has that in them, and that's fine, but it's still required. We in order to reach our dreams and our goals, we're still required to have some level of health and vitality. And if we just hustle, well, then we're probably going to end up burnt out, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So wherever people are at, that's where I meet them, and I help them create programs that help them correct their posture, reduce their physiological stress load, and just find more alignment towards what those dreams and goals are. So yeah. So I'm on this live because I want to bring some light towards what working in and working out are. So working out, we're all pretty familiar with that. It's basically just us using energy and creating a catabolic response. So for those that are not familiar, catabolic means that you're breaking down your muscles. So you have to go back and repair them. And working in are practices that help us cultivate energy or things that create a more anabolic response. So think about like your movement. It's either going to be a working in movement or a working out movement. Most of us just go and we break down our muscles, but there's actually working in that brings benefits to our energy and our consciousness even. So in order to start this conversation, we have to understand fascia a little bit more. So fascia is that layer of tissue that is between your muscles and your bones, and it helps hydrate your body. Whenever we do deep diaphragmatic breaths, we're bringing in air, or we're moving, we're stretching. All these stretch movements, they help pull water into our fascia, and we want to keep this tissue hydrated. Otherwise, we become really stiff and it becomes sticky. You can look up on Google sticky fascia, and you'll see like people do, I forgot what they're called, but when you open up people's bodies, and you'll see that some fascias were not hydrated and they become really, really sticky. And that's where things like a lot of tension happen, like crackling joints. And so working in is a practice that we can do to help prevent that. And we constantly use our fascia, not just with working in, but when we're loading our muscles, we're using up energy, and we're bringing in energy to the fascia. But if the workout is too intense, well, then we are using up more energy than we produced. And after that catabolic response comes the anabolic response. So that's when we become sore. That's how you know that you worked out. But for working in, because you don't use more energy than you create, you have like a surplus, and that creates like a anabolic plus response. So because you don't have that catabolic response, you're left with like additional anabolic, and that helps bring in energy. So that's kind of like the science behind that. Sticky fascia, yes. We don't want that. And then, since I am a holistic practitioner, we also talk a little bit about the chakras. And when we are moving our muscles, they feed into different zones of our bodies. And so not only are you hydrating your fascia, but you're also bringing in energy to that energy zone. And people aren't aware of this, but a lot of our organs and muscles have viscerosomatic reflexes that connect. So that means that the nerves that feed those organs also feed those muscles. So just by moving those muscles, we're bringing in energy to those muscles, but then that in addition brings in energy to the organs that share a neurological reflex with that. So yeah, what are a lot of us, or a lot of people that get diagnoses struggling with? Liver problems, um, adrenal organ issues, sexual organ issues. So this is a way for us to not only bring energy to like our day to day, but to our organs, the things that will show up later in our life. And so this is a practice to bring in more awareness. And yeah, we can try to keep going, but let's think of like a race car driver. If they just get good at pressing the go button, which is what most of us do, well, then you're not going to be a professional. You're not going to be a beast. You have to learn how to master the stop pedal as well. So it's not just go. You got to know when to push the stop button, and that makes you even better. Yeah. So let's start off with the requirements. So what are the requirements for working in exercises? One, it cannot bring your heart rate more than rest level. It cannot bring your breathing rate higher than your rest level. Your tongue has to stay moist, and you should be able to do it on a full stomach. So if you do your work and exercise and you start to get a stomach ache, or you're like huffing and puffing, you're tapping into your workout zone, and that's not what we want. That's going to be more sympathetic. We want to bring it more to a relaxed state. So that means you got to bring down the intensity, slow it down, lower the weight. And some of these work and exercises, they can be weighted, they can be body weight. If you're maybe like a baseball player, you can practice like you're throwing a ball as slow as you can. Make it meditative. Or you can do other things. You can do things that aren't really related to exercises, but things like Tai Chi, which is a movement meditation. Thank you. Thank you for calling me beautiful. Movement meditation. So any breathing exercise that adds in movement is considered a work in. So Tai Chi, zone exercises, those are going to be things like a breathing squat, a glute bridge without weight. And when it comes to the breathing, for if you know what a glute bridge is, you lay on your back, you bend your knees, and you lift up your hips. So you always want to think about breathing in when you go away from your center of gravity, or from your center point. So like fetal position, that would be center. So when we come back down from the glute bridge, that's when we exhale. And when we go away from the fetal position, that's when we inhale. So let's say I was doing something like, because anything can be a work and exercise. Let's say I was doing something like an arm expansion. I would breathe in when I open up, and then I would breathe out when I go into fetal position. Slower the better. Remember, you don't want your breathing rate to go up. You don't want your heart rate to go up. You don't want your tongue to become moist, and you don't want you to get like a stomach ache or anything like that after a full meal. So you should be able to do these work-in exercises after you have a meal. It's actually even going to help with your digestion. I know in the past I used to struggle a lot with digestive issues, and zone exercises or work-in exercises, this would help me get that more regulated. So, and we know that like digestive issues, that takes up a lot of energy. So that's something that's what made me a believer in this stuff. So what happens when we don't start to like tap into our work in? Well, then that's when things like sexual dysfunction happen. We lose our athletic performance, digestive issues, elimination issues, sleep issues, cognitive issues. So it starts to take away from our 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 systems, and we don't want that. So something I want to emphasize is that the habit is more important than the duration. So a lot of people, especially type A people, will be like, I need to do all this, you know? But we got to be realistic. Some of, hey Sam, we got to be realistic. And some of us, this is going to be new for us, or maybe we just don't want to do it even. You just doing like 6 repetitions of this is going to be beneficial. So I'm going to do one with you guys right now. So this is eye rolling. So this is good for people that are even desk workers because you don't have to move from your desk to do this one. You can stay sitting down and you're going to stretch out your eyeballs. So for eye rolling, we're just going to extend our finger out and we're going to draw a circle. Okay? So as we go above the horizon, we want to inhale. So and then when you go below the horizon, you exhale. Just following your finger. We'll do 6.
And Tracy, do you want to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth?
Yes. And the slower, the better, always. That creates more energy in our body. Last one. Yeah.
You know what's so interesting? My type A ass, I'm like finding myself going, okay, I've done 3. Next, move on to the next. Force myself to slow down. Yes,
Yeah. So
and
that's a red flag. That means you got to be doing this.
yes,
Because you don't know how to slow
exactly.
down. We got to teach ourselves, right? We got to teach ourselves. So I'm glad that you brought up the breathing thing. So Um, I guess you don't necessarily have to breathe out of your mouth, but it is very important that you breathe in through your nose because you have parasympathetic nerve endings in your nose. And so that helps bring you into a more relaxed state and it helps you slow down. So some people maybe might struggle with this um, because they have like a really small airway or they become like mouth breathers, which is also something that causes stress in our body. So fun fact, there's something called the rule of thirds. So the rule of thirds says that the space between your chin to the tip of your nose should be the same distance from your thumb to your pointer finger. Okay? And then the next one should be from that region to between your eyebrows. And then the last one should be from your eyebrows to your hairline. So that's the rule of thirds. If all those were equal, you're you shouldn't really have problems with your breathing. But some people, especially if your parents didn't have good eating habits, well then that affects like your anatomy, and then those people are usually born with smaller regions here, and so that's why they become mouth breathers because it's just so constricted, and so they start to use a lot of mouth breathing. And so things that can help that is there are certain therapies. I've never done them, but you can do your research on those therapies that help you open up your airway, or even like taking singing classes or just like doing it yourself, like practicing in the shower or something. That's going to help open up your airway. Yeah, so that's another thing that maybe you're not aware of that is probably adding more stress to your body and making you feel more depleted or increasing your physiological load.
So
So,
Tracy, I've got no excuse. Apparently, my parents fed me good. I got a big old, I got plenty of
same
protein. That's
girl.
so funny.
Yeah, it's
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
it's not even like what they fed you, it's what they ate. What they ate that affects your genes, that affected your structure. Yeah. So it's when your eating habits aren't directly influencing you, even though they are, but they're influencing future generations to come. So it's important you take care of how you're eating and you choose a partner that's taking care of how he's eating, just to produce like healthy children. Yeah. And a lot of us aren't aware of that. Like I'm only aware of this because this is what I study. So, we can't point fingers either. People don't know. People don't have like that education or anything. And yeah, we could only just get that awareness and do better.
Mm.
So looking for a professional that can help you open up your airway or doing the singing classes, vocal classes, that's going to be really beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to interrupt you very briefly. Actually, R2318 asked, how often should you do this? You had mentioned the habit is more important than the duration. Can you expand more on what you mean by that?
Yeah. So, um, of course, like I would like everybody to, in a perfect world, everybody would do 20 minutes of this every single day. Um, but some of us don't have time or aren't ready to make the time yet. And so we want to just start by building the habit. So, yes, do it daily, but make it as short as possible. So, some people will do like a 5 minute movement meditation. Others will just do 6 repetitions. If each of these breaths took you 10 seconds, that was just a minute of your day. So, anybody can start somewhere. Um,
And should we do this several times a day?
to start, just once a day would be fine, but yeah, the more the better. But if you can like get to a point where you're doing like a longer in one sitting, it's better than doing like and then breaking it up. Yeah. So reason is because this helps. So the therapeutic dose is actually 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day. So there's Taoists that practice this, and they say it takes about 100 days for you to like see like benefits from it. So you can't just like do it like here and there. You have to be consistent with it. Um, I actually, when I went to school, they challenged us. They had us sign a contract to commit to a whole gong. That's what this is called. So it's 20 minutes of movement meditation. You keep the same every single day, and you do it for 100 days straight. And once you complete a full 100 days, that's considered a gong. And during this time, I was going through health issues too. And I'm not saying like this fixed it, but I don't have this health issue anymore. I did other stuff as well. It's the accumulation of everything that helps heal you. It's not just one thing, but like like just uh, doing a lot of little things, like it all adds up. So yeah, so the therapeutic dose would be about 20 minutes. Um, and this is the reason why it's 20 minutes is because this allows the things that you have like suppressed or the things that you have suppressed or your subconscious to rise up. So things that you're pushing down, that you're keeping yourself distracted from like facing. Because yes, like we're stressed because like of work sometimes, but it's also things that we haven't like talked about. Like traumas, um, or relationships or finances, and we just don't want to let it come up. So this is all part of our healing. This is holistic healing. And it's helping you become better at breathing. It's helping you silence your mind a little bit, and slow down. So the therapeutic dose is about 20 minutes, but just having the behavior, dedicating 6 repetitions daily when you're sitting in your desk is a start. Yeah. Um, Cool. So yeah, this also just holds a mirror. Like where are you not showing up as well as you could be? Like if you're just doing this every now and then, you do like one day, then you skip 2 days, and then you do it again for 2 days, stop for 4 days. Like it's kind of a reflection of how you're showing up in everything else in your life. Whether that be, yeah, finances, your spirituality, your relationships. Yeah. So, how you do everything. One thing is how you do everything. And I'm a true believer of that as well. Um, yeah. So, and I really like the eyeball one because it helps integrate your left and right brain hemispheres. So yeah, a lot of type A people like will are very, rational, or they're just getting stuff done all the time and very left brained, but we want to tap into the right brain as well. Um, yeah. When you can do
Yeah,
this with other things as well, like coloring, or that's actually something I started doing lately. I just color now, and yeah, it's like it's so healing for like my inner child, because I hadn't colored in so long, and it's fun to like pick like, okay, what color do I want to use? Like, and if going back to the chakras, like your chakras are colors, they are vibrations, and they tell you about like what's going on in your life too, if you like pay attention. Yes.
so interesting, Tracy. I would love for you to just elaborate a little bit more. Why is it important for us type A perfection, get stuff done girlies to tap into the right brain?
Because you so first of all, we actually have more matter that connects our left and right brain. So we're not tapping into our like full capacity, or we're just draining ourselves. Our right brain is supposed to allow us to be more creative and more intuitive, and we're just letting that go, and then that can in the future probably lead to disease or illness if you're just focusing on getting stuff done all the time. We need to like learn to slow down and like check in with ourselves, and that's what our right brain is for. It helps us be in the moment, and show up better. So that's my opinion. um, but you can only just try this for yourself and see if it helps you. um, just speaking from my own experience. And um, try what I asked, like, or what I told you that I'm doing. Start coloring and see how that feels for you. Or dancing. Like, think about what you used to do when you were a kid. Like, did you like to dance? Did you like to um, write songs? I actually like to write songs, so embarrassing. um, yeah, so tap into that inner child. It's just another healing tool, that is free. That is something that you can tap into, and rather than just like medicating, um, which everything has their time and place. But if you have the opportunity to help yourself heal, then why not try it out, right?
Absolutely. Tracy, that's so interesting. I definitely wrote songs as a child. I still do. And actually, I don't know if Mateo is still on. Mateo is my boyfriend, but it's so funny because we'll be just like, he knows when I'm in a good mood because I'm singing around the house. And when I'm not, and when I'm very quiet, I'm usually not in a very good mood. And so it's so
Mhm.
interesting because I find my mom always made us dance the Cupid Shuffle before school every day, mandatory, because she didn't want us cranky ladies in the car. And
Mhm.
every
Mhm.
time we fail, we'd be like, Mom, stop. You don't want to do this. You shuffle, and lo and behold, we're in a better
Yeah,
mood. It's
it does
so
something. It does something. It taps into like your serotonin. Um, like what comes first? Is it like when you smile, or is it like you being happy? Um, both really. Like if you choose to smile, like you will feel a little bit happier. If you choose to just be happy, you will start to smile. So yeah, these practices, they help bring us into a better state. And yeah, that's what I hope people get from this. Just bringing that awareness. Um, yeah, and then I guess I want to like just finish off with what you should be wearing and when you should be doing like work and exercises. So, the best exercise is the one that you'll do. The best exercise in the world is the one that you'll actually do. I can't force you to do something you won't do. So, If you just want to do it right then and there where you're at, wearing whatever you're wearing, that's cool. That's actually how I did my gong, because um, yeah, I just didn't want to change my clothes or anything. But barefoot is always better. It's going to help ground you. It's going to help take out some negative charge from your body. Barefoot in the grass, preferably. You can do it indoors as well, outdoors. Preferably the first hour of the sun being up, or the first or the last hour before the sun goes down. You know, it's always good to just get some sun. Helps regulate your circadian rhythm. Um, as far as clothing, natural fiber clothing is always best. So like cotton, wool, um, yeah, I forgot what other ones there are, but those fibers are going to help like just free your body up rather than making it feel like constricted. Um, and do, do, do. If it's too cold, you can use wool socks. That'll be good. Because if otherwise you're just gonna keep all that stress in your body, like in that container of your body. Whereas if you go barefoot or you just have some wool socks on, it helps your body release those negative electrons. Um, yeah, so the earth is like another thing that helps reduce stress in our body, and people should be considering, like, being proactive in this and just using it. But yeah, that's basically all I had to share today.
Thank you, Tracy. This was wonderful. And I do have one question for you. So I'll be coming off this live in between meetings. And so I will be doing some eye rolling. I'll practice that. But you recommend as well, maybe go outside, put my feet in the grass. That's going to help me recharge so that I
Mm-hmm.
work in before I come back to working out or, getting.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Take your shoes off, be barefoot. Right now, sun is peaking, so it's going to be nice. And then if you're going to do like a squat or something, remember you want to exhale going towards fetal position, inhale when you go away. And then the slower that you move, the better effects you'll have from it. The more energy you'll create and the more hydrated your fascia is going to be.
Wonderful. Ooh, girl, this was so good. I just want
I know.
to for the people on here, quick recap. Give us 10 seconds or less. What did we just talk about?
We talked about working in and working out. We talked about the importance of slowing down, and we talked about fascia, how it's important to hydrate our fascia. And we do that by doing things like stretching or loading our body. But the slower that we move, the less load on our body. If we can keep our heart rate low, our breathing rate low, if we can keep our tongue moist and um, do this after eating a large meal, then we're tapping into our work in zone, and that is tapping into our anabolic response and to our parasympathetic system. And that's what we need more than anything at the moment, with people struggling with adrenal exhaustion, loss in athletic performance, injury, loss in sexual performance, um, digestive issues, elimination issues, cognitive issues, all of the above. We want to help reduce illness, and this is something that we can use and put in our toolbox. Working in habit is more important than the duration. So if you can commit to doing this for 1 minute every single day, that is a start. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you again so much, Tracy. It's always great to
Oh,
chat with
you're
you.
so
So,
welcome.
yay!
Love you so much, girl.
This was dope. And for those on here still, I will repost this. So this will be on my Instagram, which obviously if you're here, samueli.fit. I hope that this was a very helpful live. Tracy, what's your at?
My at is at Tracy Trains. TRACY
It's up there at the top.
Yes, if you didn't see it. Right
Well, awesome.
there.
Thank you, Tracy. I'll have a moment. So I'll chat. Thank you,
Awesome.
everybody.
Bye.